The History of American Civil Rights, and the Left's Hijacking of the Noble Fight for Civil Rights. Chapter 1. Civil Rights and the American Founding. Civil rights, a fundamental aspect of American democracy, refer to the guarantees of equal social opportunities and protection under the law, irrespective of race, religion, gender, or other characteristics. Understanding civil rights within the American context is essential not only for appreciating their historical significance, but also for recognizing how they have evolved through various ideological frameworks over time. This chapter will explore the historical foundations of civil rights in America, particularly during its founding period, while examining how shifts in ideology, especially those associated with leftist movements, have impacted the trajectory and perception of civil rights. The thesis posits that while the struggle for civil rights was initially rooted in principles articulated by America's founders, principles that championed individual liberty and equality, subsequent ideological developments have complicated this narrative. The left's appropriation of civil rights has often led to divergent interpretations that sometimes stray from these foundational ideals. The roots of civil rights in America can be traced back to Enlightenment ideals that influenced the founding documents of the nation. The Declaration of Independence, 1776, penned by Thomas Jefferson, famously declared that all men are created equal and endowed with unalienable rights, such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This assertion laid a philosophical foundation for civil liberties and underscored a commitment to individual rights. However, these lofty principles were inconsistently applied. Slavery persisted, women lacked suffrage, and Native Americans were systematically marginalized. In crafting the Constitution, 1787, compromises regarding slavery reflected deep societal divisions that would later culminate in conflict. Although it established a framework for governance intended to uphold justice and promote equality, it simultaneously enshrined systems that allowed for discrimination. Notably, amendments such as the Bill of Rights aimed to protect individual freedoms, but did not adequately address racial inequalities or other systemic injustices. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, a robust civil rights movement emerged seeking justice against pervasive racial discrimination. Activists like Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X revived foundational ideals by demanding their fulfillment for all citizens. Their efforts culminated in landmark legislation such as the Civil Rights Act, 1964, and Voting Rights Act, 1965, which sought to dismantle institutional barriers faced by African Americans. However, as movements evolved into broader struggles encompassing various issues, including gender equality, sexual orientation rights, and economic justice, the ideological landscape shifted significantly. Entering into this arena were leftist ideologies advocating collectivism over individualism. These perspectives began framing civil rights not merely as legal entitlements, but as part of a larger socio-political struggle against perceived systemic oppression. This transformation raised questions about ownership over the civil rights narrative itself. While earlier leaders focused on integration and equality under existing frameworks, often appealing to American ideals, the newer wave increasingly emphasized